Hey, what's up, guys? Boodchains here, back for the second episode. It is currently 7:51 a.m., January 5th. We're recording this before school, and I'm glad to announce I'm here with one of my good friends, Jason Woolcock, or JJ as you might know him. Say hello.
What's up?
So, today we're going to be recording our first episode with a guest, and I'm really excited for that. So, JJ, just give the audience a quick rundown of who you are and because not everyone's going to know you, okay?
That's fair. Well, same thing with the music back in the day. I'm just the one who makes sure the music sounds good before, we put it out. And it's going to be the same with the podcast. I make sure that everything sounds great. I put the background music. Also some advice with like YouTube stuff, and I help with the uploading and making the channel look nice.
Okay, so you went into a little bit there about how you made Boodchains sound good, right? But a lot of people, I'm sure if they're listening, they know what Boodchains is, but they don't know how Boodchains became a thing. So I'd like to ask if you can give the audience a quick history and origin of Boodchains and how it all started from your point of view.
Oh man. Grade 7, French project. We're in the back of the classroom. We thought of a rap name for you. It took, the whole class to think of the name Boodchains, a rip on 2 Chainz. Then we had to figure out what we're gonna do for the rap, and pretty sure you found the beat. You wrote the lines.
Yes, sir.
I think I was using Wondershare or something. It was a video editing software, and it was horrible to use. I remember that. Barely made that thing. I'm pretty sure majority of people haven't even heard the Bonum rap.
No, yeah, it's definitely one of those things where you kind of had to be in Talbot Show with us to hear it. Not many people in high school know of it.
Fair.
But yeah, so I'm just gonna go on that quickly, right? So grade 7, we had video contest. We made our first raps, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was all about Bonum Carnival and the Duchess and Duke and all that, right? And then where did Boodchains go from there? From your point of view, right? What other songs or stuff stick with you, and then how has it come all the way here to where we are now, starting a podcast?
True. So yeah, the thing that we tried to make big back then, it wasn't really the raps, it was the MLG endings.
I remember, man.
Oh man, we put the stupidest clips, whatever we could find, just for a little bit of entertainment value. I don't regret a thing. It was still funny. It took a lot of editing though. lots and lots of time.
Yeah, all the hit markers on me and and the oh my god, and there's the
oh man,
there you put very bars such you did the Doge meme from way back. We thought we were funny with that.
Oh god, damn bro.
Then, yeah. The first couple of tracks, the MLG endings were
that was our staple.
Kind of saved them because they weren't that good back then.
No.
And so we kind of needed something to make them a little funny.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good touch. But then where'd it go from there?
So I think we left it at Bonum rap for a little bit. But in grade 8, we were pumping out tracks. We're doing this stuff every week.
Yep.
We were just trying to find new stuff. I think we ended up making around 6 to 7 tracks that year alone.
Mm-hmm.
All of it's not there anymore. You can't find majority of it anymore. I think there's 2 tracks from that time where you could find.
Yeah.
We had Sager to do the art. That art still looks great. I could never do that stuff. That's the one thing that I still couldn't do fantastic. I've done one cover art for Blessed.
That's pretty good. It served us.
I think that was one of our best songs, high key.
Yeah, Blessed was for sure our best song.
Yeah, the Blessed one sounded great.
Yeah, but okay, and so, we had the Bonum rap, right? And then for a while there, we were only doing songs for school projects.
True, yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a couple of the good ones, right? So we had a track about the War of 1812.
Yep, banger.
We talked about Brock and Tecumseh. We talked about General Brock and Tecumseh exchanging sashes.
Bro, you can't forget Eric.
And that was before York burned to ashes.
Bro, you can't forget Eric, bro. He was there too.
Eric was a big part of that too. He was on that project. Gave him a free 4+. From there, we did an environmental sustainability rap for Mr. McLean.
Oh man, yeah.
Is that his name? Yep, Mr. McLean. We did raps on his book called like Into the Wild or something
Yep.
like that.
You made that beat too.
Yeah, I made that beat in GarageBand. It sounded like those LeBron memes.
It was actually not too bad for your first track, though.
I mean,
I'll give it to you.
I guess that's fair. Yeah, so like we were doing a bunch of like songs for school, right? And then we're like, yo, what if we do some schools like not for school? And then we made this one. It was just called Fire, and it was an emoji it was just a fire emoji. And me and you listened to it like 2 days ago. It was pretty bad.
Oh man.
So like seeing like where we've came from there is pretty nice, you know. See how far we've came.
I wouldn't trade anything for that, man. Good times.
Right. So then, we made maybe one or two other songs not very memorable in grade 8, right? Grade 8 summer comes along, right? You and me, you know, we pump out Trauma.
Oh yeah, yep.
That was probably like my first like not completely terrible one, and even then it's pretty bad.
Like, do a lot of people know about Trauma? Like, do they end up like talking to you about
honestly,
it?
I think I removed them like sometime grade 9 or 10, so maybe not.
Oh yeah, because it was on your Instagram for a little bit, but like.
Yeah, it was, but I don't know when I cleaned it up for high school. Me and him made a song where I was rapping, he did all the editing and all that, right? It's called Trauma, and I kind of went off, but you know, still like it was really early, like the audio quality wasn't there, like the rapping like went like a little offbeat at some points, but you know,
Partially my fault. I'll take responsibility, but that was back in the day. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, like my fault for rapping offbeat, your fault for not fixing it. I don't know, man. It's a wash.
True,
right?
True.
So then we made My Soul. That one was kind of corny in my opinion. I listen to my soul every day. It was pretty corny. But then
I think it was
from
good
there,
attention.
right? We made Blessed.
Oh man, banger.
Right? And that was our best song to date by far.
Banger, man.
And so from there, we say, hey, that's pretty good. What if we make a whole mixtape?
Yep.
And then that whole grade 8 summer going into grade 9,
man,
we just grinded, right?
Bro, that process. Oh, I have a lot to say about that process, man.
Yeah, we made a short little mixtape, like 20 minutes, even though it took like the whole summer to make.
Bro, I gotta give credit to people who drop albums like once a year, man.
Yep.
That was a small mixtape, and the amount of editing I had, like even like the recording time, like everything was just. It just took so long to get everything done. And then we set a date because, like, if we didn't set a date, I would have spent forever editing it. So we set a date around September. I think it was, like, mid-September, too.
Yep.
That deadline was, like, I don't know. Like, I tried to make everything sound perfect, and that ended up... when I listen back to it now, it makes, like, some songs feel rushed opposed to others. I could definitely hear that, like, especially because, like, I had to listen to all these songs on repeat for a whole summer, so, you know, I know all the lines, I know all that, just because the amount of time I put into each song was probably, like, 50 hours each song, maybe.
Yeah, and even there, like, just recording them.
Oh, man.
Like, I would come into the studio, right, your bedroom with a mic hooked up to your computer.
Fantastic, man.
And then like we would spend like 3 or 4 hours just recording like a 3-minute song and then even then there would still be like sometimes that like didn't sound that good.
So you had to come in and re-record, like I think 2 tracks.
re-record, and then.
Oh my god, it took so long, but I mean, I don't regret a thing. It sounded great. Like I was super happy when it came out.
We put out a mixtape in grade 9. There's not many people who have done that.
True. But I think there's not a lot of people who would want to do that. You know.
I mean,
it's difficult.
That's fair.
It's not easy.
That's fair. But so right, grade 9, September, right?
Yep.
Right. So September, grade 9, we put out the mixtape, and then Boodchains just kind of like falls off the face of the planet.
Oh man.
You know, he just stops posting music. He stops everything, right? He just kind of like focuses on like friends and stuff rather than like music.
Yep.
I guess you can say this is the revival, huh?
It really is. I mean, in grade 9 and grade 8, like music was like a big reason we were hanging out like all the time. So once like once you like lost motivation, that kind of like, you know, cut into some of our time we would be hanging out and stuff. And plus, you know, we never had the same class. Like, we kind of fell off for a little bit there. But you know, like, we're still cool. Like, it's one of those friendships where like it doesn't matter if we don't talk in like months or even a year. We're always cool when you know, see each other again. So, yeah, with the music stuff, it was great when it happened, but then I don't know, writing a whole mixtape definitely burnt you out.
Yeah, and just going off like what you said, where we kind of like drifted, and like we haven't had the same class and all that, like in like mid grade 9 all the way to like mid grade 10, like yeah, we weren't really friends at all there. Like we were friends, but like, we just didn't talk.
Yeah, like I would talk to you on the bus, but like that's different.
Yeah,
you know?
because I was spending lunches with like Steven, Jim.
Yep.
Like all that group, right?
I was going to Tim's every day. Like I was never in
with
the caf.
Dalton and them, right? So
yeah.
But you know, that's just like something that happened. Like we talk every day now, so that's all cool. And you know, like here again, like with the podcast, making like full circle, talking every day.
Yep.
Okay, so like a podcast episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, just like a lot of stuff goes into music. So I think a lot of people don't really understand what goes into a podcast episode.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd like you to give them maybe a quick rundown on how recording a podcast episode and then having to like edit it and do all this stuff, like what kind of process that is.
Okay, so I edited the first episode. The first episode was just Bradley, so it's definitely going to be completely different. But for the first one, I had a simple goal with that. It's just Bradley talking, and I wanted him to get all of his points down in a good time while keeping it somewhat interesting. So pretty much like all the gaps and pauses between like, you know, speech, right? You don't want too big pauses unless it's for a reason. So if you're switching topics for whatever reason pretty quickly, that's when a bigger break is called for, like maybe 1 or 2 seconds. If you're like in depth talking about a certain subject and you're going on and on about that, you don't want big pauses. So pretty much he sent me a 10-minute clip of him speaking. I cut it down to about 5 minutes because, you know, when you're explaining certain things, it'll end up repeating. You end up repeating yourself over time. So I was like, you know what, 5 minutes of this is good. We're gonna keep that. So it's gonna be the same way with these podcasts. I'm gonna listen to all the podcasts. I'm probably gonna know them word for word, just like how the songs were. Songs were like, they're a little bit different, but they're kind of similar. The only thing is with the podcast, it doesn't have to be on beat. It doesn't have to have, you know, elements. It doesn't have ad libs, things like that.
Yep.
Yeah, ad libs were definitely
true.
Ad libs were definitely the hardest thing to like make them sound good.
Our ad libs were pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know. Like that was the one nemesis. Like it was just like I always like had them too early, too late. So I'm happy I don't have to deal with those anymore. But with these, I just have to, you know, listen through. You know, like not every part of a podcast is going to be interesting or even like what people want to hear. So you have to cut it down. And so for anyone else who's going to be on the podcast, you just got to realize that, you know, some things that you guys talk about, like, it's not going to go on. If it fits, it fits.
Yeah. You know, like this whole, I feel like I just keep on coming back to Boodchains, but you know, it's such a like big part.
It was a big thing.
It's such a big part of this, so I feel like just getting like the first episode, a lot of this stuff down is just gonna like help people understand, you know, what the podcast's about and like kind of like who I am and like how this is all working just a little bit better. And so like
yeah, I've been here since the start, right? So
exactly, and you have been here from the start, right? It's been pretty much like 4 years we've been making music or just recording stuff in general, right? So
almost 5.
There's probably a lot of lessons in there, right? So maybe what's the biggest thing you've like learned from being a part of all of this?
Especially like back in grade 9, you know, when people like used to know your name and stuff, like I jealousy started to become like a little thing with me. And I guess one thing I've learned like throughout this whole time is like you can't be jealous. None of that. I'm doing the stuff I enjoy. I'm editing audio. I'm having a great time being a part of like everything that we do. It doesn't matter if my name's involved or if people know what I do. it's something I enjoy doing anyways. So, one thing I learned through this whole process is don't be jealous.
Yeah, and see, that's one of the reasons you're on the show first, because you've done so much for Boodchains that, you know, I want to get you some of that recognition. You know, without you, Boodchains is definitely not a thing. None of the music would sound good. None of the music would get made. And none of it would be mixed or edited or be on. Some of it would be on beat, but you know, you saved a lot of those tracks, right? So I mean, without you, yeah.
I think we're just both lucky.
Yeah, we definitely did have like a good kind of like symbiotic relationship there.
It was beautiful, man.
Where,
damn,
you know, mutual relationship, right? So like I have something that you can edit, and then, you know, you have the editing.
Yeah, I've heard a bunch of rappers in like high school times, you know, and they do it off their phone, and they don't have a lot of editing in the back, and like all to those type of people, right? Like the people who do that. But
yep,
if it wasn't me and you, that's how it would be, right? If it was just you or it was just me, I don't know if I would end up doing the rapping stuff, but it would just sound like the phone, like you're on the phone.
For a little bit there, it kind of was just you, right? With that YouTube channel. So, Legend of Doubles in like grade 6 you started?
Grade 6.
Grade 6 through 7. Right?
Yeah, I definitely stopped.
You had your own YouTube channel, Legend of Doubles.
Oh, man.
Right? Sort of put you through this.
No, bro.
You signed up though, right? So, yeah, Legend of Doubles, right? You had your own YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Give us like a quick rundown of what that channel was about.
A good way to put it was like I like video games, so I would just play video games with like my friends, my sister, myself, and commentating on gameplay back in like I think it was 2017, 16. Like it was a big thing, so of course, you know, I hopped on the trend and I would just commentate, say some things, or I would do tutorials, or I was all over the place. Like I didn't know what I wanted to be. I started the YouTube channel with one of my friends. He lives in Alberta. He made his YouTube channel. He made a tutorial that exploded. Like he got like, I think like 5,000 views on it, and he ended up getting like 200, 300 subscribers. And like,
damn.
Back in the day, it was just jealousy. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was like that's how I was running. I don't agree with it now, but
yeah, you see
I was
somebody
jealous.
else succeeding, so you try to like run in that quick.
Yeah, I tried, and I was stuck at 20 subscribers for that whole time, like that whole stretch. I hit 20 and it never went up.
Mm-hmm.
And I still did it for a while. Then I think the only reason I decided to stop was I just had other things coming up. Like I had other things I needed to focus on. Like when high school hit, like I already wasn't really doing it in grade 8, but because we were focusing on the music, and I had more fun doing that than editing my own YouTube videos. So I was like, okay, what's the point? You know, like I may as well just put the energy towards things that I find like enjoyable. So, but yeah, back in the day, man, that YouTube channel was it was a lot of fun though. It was a good experience there too.
Yeah, I think honestly, if you haven't tried to like start a YouTube channel or like any sort of like social media like presence that's like branded, and it's not just like a personal Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Or like personal like Twitter or anything like that, like I feel like everyone should try it, because there's definitely like so many like good skills you can learn from that.
Oh, true.
Like
sure.
you like learn like just some like basic editing, like basic, you know, just like some like basic things, right? And then
it's not for everyone.
No, but I mean you see so many people like starting YouTube channels now.
Well, because you gotta think, right? You know, people are stuck inside, so they want to have something to do.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this is about too, right?
Yeah, even in 10, I think, grade 10, like Amy Zhu, she started a YouTube channel. I think she was getting like 100 views per post or something like that. Like,
damn.
Like, and so even like, you know, anybody can really start like something and have it turn into something. I think she quit sometime, but you know.
Yeah, but that's still better than what I got.
Exactly. And or even if it's like not a podcast or not a YouTube channel, it's just like being able to like start something and like, you know, like I've always wanted to do this, just like start it and, you know, see where it takes you.
Keep it rolling.
Yeah, just see where it takes you. Maybe that takes you to like, you know, like you obviously you wanted to like have a YouTube channel at some point,
Mm-hmm.
and then you wanted to start that, and then you just did it, right? And then that gave you some like basic editing skills, right? And then that brought you skills that were used in Boodchains, and then Boodchains brought us to this podcast, right? So, you know,
there's also
just like starting something.
Yeah,
But you know, just like, you know, start something and then, you know, see where it takes you.
Yeah, I think with the like any brand at all, it also works on like your self-confidence. And back in the day, it was like, you know, grade 6, 7, like I didn't really have a lot of self-confidence, and like I didn't like the way my voice sounded. I didn't have a lot of things to work on that. So like having my own brand and like putting myself out there definitely helped with things like that. And it's, you know, it's a nice experience. You know, you learn things about yourself that you don't really know until you're in front of a camera or something. Like if you have stage fright, once you do that stuff for like months or even a year, you only see progression. Like you don't really go down at all, and it's kind of nice to see.
Yeah. And would you say that like that self-confidence thing is like your biggest takeaway from that channel?
Oh, for sure. I hated the way my voice sounded. Like I didn't like a lot of things that I used to do. Like I still watch those videos like on occasion. I show them to my friends and I cringe and like I can't watch it. But truth is, back then I thought those videos were fantastic. I loved every element of them because that's where I was at the time. But of course, over time you get better at things and you look back and you cringe a bit. That's sick. That's 6 years ago. You know what I mean? Like that's a long time ago.
I guess. Yeah, dude, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Grade 6.
6 years ago.
Grade 6 was crazy, bro. Wasn't that the year that I did that WWE move on Ethan? Yeah, should we go into that?
I think that was grade 5. That's 7 years ago. Yeah,
should I incriminate myself on my own podcast?
That's fine, bro. It's gonna be for good content.
Oh, I guess. Okay. Everybody, like, I just want to preface this. Like, I'm changed. Like, I'm not pulling WWE moves on my friends anymore. You know, unless we're doing them to each other, right? But okay, so grade 5, we had a group of 4 friends, kind of split into 2 groups of 2, right?
Yep.
It was me and my friend named Marco, and you and your friend named Ethan, and we used to all be cool, but then we weren't.
Yeah, I don't know why.
And I think it was like about Pokemon. Like you guys had moved on, but me and Marco
stupid.
didn't. It was something. Yeah, it was something really silly.
Yeah.
And then, so basically, like we got in like a feud between us. It was like turf wars, right? it was like gang wars in the recess of Talbot Trail, right? And then eventually, like we start like calling each other names and like cussing each other out in like grade 5. Of course, like you were way better at that because you had practiced your whole life in like,
Xbox lobbies, bro.
Call of Duty lobbies. Yep. You had your whole life practicing. I was sheltered, right? So I wasn't that good. So then I kind of knew like Ethan wouldn't really do anything back. So I was like, hey yo, I like we're like heading in for recess that day, and I'm like fuming because you like, I don't know, you probably called me something like really silly that I'd like laugh at now, but you know, and then instead of like going at you, I knew Ethan wouldn't do anything back. Sorry, Ethan, if you're listening, but I karate chopped him in the back, and he like bent over, and then I like pulled out the elbow, like smacked it twice, and like jumped up, like elbowed him in the back, like some straight like WWE stuff.
My God, man.
Like you hop up on the ring, like he's laying on a table, you do that stuff.
Oh,
I don't know, man. Like that's what it looked like in my head,
bro.
But like in the back, like looking back, I mean that's what it looked like in my head. But looking back, man, it was probably just like a fat kid giving a soft elbow to another fat kid. Like,
oh my God, bro. I was watching it. I was there. I was like, I was lost. I was lost for words.
Yeah, you were real close.
Oh my God.
And then you just kind of like grabbed him and like shuffled him inside.
Bro, it was just a snitching fest, bro. We were just whoever could snitch on the other one.
We both went snitching on each other.
Oh man.
Miss Allison.
Yep. She was a good teacher, man.
Yeah, Miss Allison gets me from my class.
Yep.
and she brings all of us into the hallway, and she starts saying like, "What's going on?"
Mm-hmm.
And so like I'm crying because like I'm getting confronted by a teacher, and so like I'm sobbing, and I'm like, I'm not even mentioning the fact that like I just put this guy on WWE top clips all time, right? I'm not even mentioning that, right? I'm just saying like he called me a name, you know? I'm like sobbing,
Oh man.
and then so she's like, "What do he call you?" And then so like I whisper to her, and she's like, "Okay, well,
Bro.
I'm gonna lock you guys in a room, and you guys have to make up, or else I'm calling home to all of you."
You know what? You know what? First of all, you know how bad of an idea that sounds. Go looking back.
I just put this guy on World Star Clips with a WWE move.
This sounds horrible.
And she locks us up in a library like study room thing.
Oh.
Like one of the teachers like offices.
All hell could have broke loose in there. And she would have no idea.
I could have actually put this man on the table and jumped off another table to you know, I could have pulled I don't know, I could have pulled some crazy stuff on this guy. But she's just like,
look, it didn't go that way.
I mean, no, it didn't. But she's like, you know, you guys have to like make up and find something you can bond over, or else I'm calling home. And of course, none of us want that at all.
Common goal.
Like in grade 5, exactly, right? Grade 5, nobody wants that. Your worst fear is getting a call home, right? We need to figure something out.
Yeah, Bradley with the
like
smooth moves.
even if it's BS, right? We just need to figure something out.
Yeah, Bradley with the smooth moves. He pulled through with this one, man.
Yo, tell him what I did.
Alright, so you know, after he did the WWE stuff, right? He made it up with smooth talking Miss Allison. You know, we pretty much just found a common game that we all enjoyed at the time in Minecraft. Very simple and elegant.
6 years ago, Minecraft was what got us out of trouble, man.
It's still big now, though.
6 years later, we're starting a Minecraft realm, and we're building stuff, and we're putting it behind our podcast episodes, man. That's crazy. Minecraft does not age, man.
Yeah, it was common. Like we all love the game. So you just pull on the smooth speech. You just
I pulled the spiel. I was like, "Yo, Miss, we found a game we can all bond over that lets us share our creativity in a non-violent way." "Oh, that's great, Bradley. What is it?" "Minecraft." And she just ate it up, man.
Smooth speech, man.
Exactly.
I love that you got us all out of trouble, and that never happened again. You know, no issues.
Oh yeah.
No, not no issues, but very little issues.
I mean, I didn't put anybody else on World Star Clips.
Yo, not yet.
World Star Hip Hop Top Fights Vine compilation. Right, and so, like we just kind of like mentioned it, where you know 6 years later, still playing Minecraft. So, since we don't have webcams yet set up for the podcast or anything like that, the first couple episodes on the YouTube are gonna have some Minecraft gameplay behind it.
Yep.
Minecraft, right? It's kind of crazy how we're still playing it, and then we're putting it behind our podcast now.
Yeah, it's aged well. Like they keep when it got bought out, it kind of had a little bit of a like a downturn. But then I haven't had any issues with it recently. Like I think it was like a week ago or something. I was bored, so I bought a realm, and I was like, you know what? If we all use it, then great. Like why not? And if we don't, then I won't buy it again. And luckily I did, because like even what you're gonna see in the background of this, I bet we just did a lot with it, and we're still playing it now. Fun experience, but I'm happy that Minecraft still hasn't aged a bit, because it's such a good game. There's so much possibilities with it. Actually, Bradley, I have a question for you.
What's up?
All right, something I know probably some people would want to know. Why did Boodchains retire? Why is he the retired SoundCloud rapper?
I mean, he's back now.
He is back, but he's not the rapper anymore.
You're talking the hiatus after the mixtape.
Yeah. What made you decide that it was not worth it?
Well, honestly, so we made the mixtape, right? We make it, we put it out. Mm-hmm. You're like, "Hey, yo, we're gonna make some more," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm down."
Yep.
But even just like the last couple of songs on the mixtape, I was like running out of stuff to write because
True.
like, you know, I'm not like crazy musical genius. Like I'm not coming up with like, you know, Kendrick Lamar like straight like bars. Just, you know, like I don't have the presence there to be able to do all that, right? So then
True.
I was rapping about like spending a paycheck on an Audemars Patek and like look at all these girls I have. Meanwhile, grade 9 me, 0 girls, right? Grade 12 me, 0 girls, right? But still, right? You know, that's beside the point. Right? So I'm like rapping about like, yo, I have this cool Range Rover. It's so big, takes up 2 lanes. My name is Boodchains. My pinky ring so big, it take up 2 rings. You know, stupid stuff, right? And like I was just running out of stupid stuff to say because I didn't want to like just like repeat myself like on like 4 songs, just make them all the same.
I get that, yeah.
Because, you know, it's one thing if Migos does it because they already have fans, but you're not really gonna get any fans if you do that. And
they do have those Pateks and the Range Rover.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're like somewhat living those.
Exactly.
You know, I had none of that, right?
True.
So it was just like a mix of like whenever I'd go to write, it would take too long. I'd like get maybe like 6 bars down, and then I'd just run out of things to say, and then I'd like go back to it, still couldn't have anything, and writing the music was just like too much, and so like I stopped like having fun with it because it was more of like a chore to make bars.
Fair enough.
To actually just like have fun and like make something you can record with the homies. Because I mean, I guess I could have just like kept rapping about nonsense, but
it just wouldn't be fun though.
Yeah, I don't know. It would have been. I feel like it would have gotten old so fast.
That makes sense. But I guess the follow-up question. All right.
Yep.
Follow-up question is, you know, even if you never come back fully, what is the chances of you dropping 1 or 2 more tracks, maybe within this year, maybe even later? Is that
I'd
even
say it's pretty low.
Is that even in the possibility like realm? Or
I'd say it's pretty low, honestly.
Pretty low.
Yeah, I kind of just want to like
focus on this.
Hey, yeah.
And
focus on the podcast.
Yeah, bro. It's a good.
And I know you're making beats now. You're trying to get into that.
True.
And so, I mean, you can send me some. I'll like record. I'll like make some lyrics. Won't put like a ton of time into it.
Yeah, I get that.
And then, you know, we could just record them for us, but I don't really want to put anything out.
That's fair.
Although that being said, I don't want to just do the podcast, right? I think we've talked about this.
Of course, yeah.
Both of us, right? We're both interested in making YouTube videos for the Boodchains channel that aren't just the podcast or like music or stuff like that, right?
Yeah, it can go everywhere.
And just turning it into just like a regular YouTube channel that like someone can post anything.
Yeah. It's the home of the podcast, but you can there's lots of other content.
Yeah.
So
we were kind of thinking we can do some like Rocket League gameplay videos or like just like any stuff where like we're probably gonna be playing games anyways.
True.
So you might as well record them and then just put them out because, you know, you might as well. It's just like they're fun to do and you're playing games anyways. Why not?
Yeah, makes sense.
I don't know if I'm sure those videos are gonna do worse than the podcast, but like, does it really matter? Like, do you think that would take away from the podcast at all?
I mean, it's just like with the music stuff. Like, I don't know. The reason I did it is because I enjoyed it, and then jealousy became a factor like later. But I don't run that way now, and I'm pretty sure you won't either. So the whole goal is just probably to have fun, and like even if the podcast, you know, if the podcast isn't doing as well because of the other videos or whatever, it's. I think as long as we're having fun doing what we're doing, it shouldn't be an issue.
Bring it back to your roots with another YouTube channel, some live commentaries.
I mean, if I do it again, I've learned and I'm gonna do it better. So
you know,
if I'm gonna do the same thing, I don't want it to be a repeat.
Yeah.
I want it to be better. So
Do some Rocket
that would be
League
the plan.
live commentaries.
Yeah, or like maybe even like Call of Duty back in the old days.
Okay, so moving on here, right? The podcast. I feel like that's gonna be something we can do for a while. We just need to set up the interviews and set up everything like that. And so, first couple episodes, there's gonna be some growing pains. We're gonna like be learning what's the best way to do certain things. But I think once we get into it, we get past like maybe episode 10, and we're in a groove here. I think everything's gonna start clicking, and we can go really far with this. But that's my thoughts. What do you think the podcast can turn into, and how far do you think we can go with this?
As long as, Bradley, your interest stays in it and you keep doing the podcast episodes, I'll keep editing them. I love editing audio anyways, so it's like a win-win for me. I'll make these things sound great, and I like some of the goals you set, because you said 4 a month instead of 1 every week. That makes my job immediately 10 times easier. Like, let's just say there's an episode recorded late. If I need to spend extra time to make it sound better and it comes out a week later, then than the once a week goal that we had, it's fine. Like, you set it up in a way where I can actually put effort and time, and I'm not feeling rushed. So this podcast can definitely go far, as long as we keep our interest on it and we keep spending our time on it and making sure that it gets better with each episode.
Yeah, I think as long as we keep this like a priority and don't let it like fall to the background, I think we can do this for a long time. And I'm like really excited to see like how far this goes. Like episode 26 would be like half a year from now, so that would be like June.
Yeah, the next step would be getting video cameras, and hopefully once Corona's a thing of the past, bringing like mics and stuff over to people's houses, or have people come to your house.
And getting like a recording setup more like personalized, because right now we're both just recording at our desk here, talking to our mics.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's fine for now. People have to understand, but when Corona's a thing of the past, we're gonna elevate there. We're gonna have video of the podcast. It's no longer gonna be Minecraft in the background. We'll have other videos reserved for that.
We'll save those gameplays for other videos.
That's what people gotta understand. Like, we're posting it on 2 places right now, SoundCloud and YouTube. SoundCloud is where you don't want anything, like any video. You just want to hear it in the background. And YouTube is like something you actually want to watch with some gameplay, and keep yourself a little bit interested with what's going on in the video and listening to the podcast at the same time.
And so like, let's say you're just like watching on YouTube, but you still just like don't want to watch me building like a base in Minecraft, or like playing Call of Duty Warzone or anything like that. You're able to just like minimize it, or like put it on in the background, or just go to SoundCloud. So if you're on your phone, you can just still play in the background if you don't have YouTube Premium. Expanding the podcast, right? We're on two places right now. We've looked into getting onto more platforms
soon.
Right now, we just kind of want to have it just in like these 2 places. Makes it like really easy for us.
True.
And then to like in the future, when we get like better stuff, we get better, we just like the podcast gets better, and then we can start like expanding it there. But like for right now, I think like SoundCloud and YouTube is like just pretty solid 2 places.
The goal is for now to see how it goes on these 2 platforms, and whenever we believe it's time to put it on Spotify, Apple Music, like the major streaming platforms that people have. Majority of people have, right? As soon as we start seeing it like growth, it only makes sense to put it on there. But the hope is to put it on those platforms soon enough, rather than later. I'm thinking we'll make it pretty public.
You definitely want it to be soon.
Oh yeah.
But honestly, right now, like, I'm pretty content with how stuff's gonna go for a while. We just need to mostly it's on me though, just getting interviews like scheduled and getting them done.
That's true. That's true.
Makes it a little easier, I think, to have stuff through Discord, right? People don't have to like you don't have to worry about like going to somewhere or someone like coming to your house or anything like that. And then some people who I interview aren't gonna have mics, but honestly, it's fine because I mean you don't need like a good sounding mic, right? Like this isn't the Joe Rogan experience. Like nobody's really expecting that. This is
That's true.
a podcast done in like a 17-year-old's room who has never made a podcast before, right? So I mean,
that's true. Yeah.
I don't think people are expecting the most. You know, of course, try to make it as good as possible, but I feel like people are going to be lenient. Honestly, man, we've been recording for about an hour, just under an hour and a half now. I think we talked about some good stuff. We had some good conversations, man.
Yeah, bro, this has been a great time. Had some fun.
Thank you so much for being on the Boodchains Talks podcast. I'm going to give you 30 seconds here to plug anything you want to plug right now. Any social medias, anything you're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
I'm going to make a YouTube channel where I'm going to start making type beats. I don't know the name. I don't know when I'm going to make it, but whenever I do, I'm going to put it in the description of both of the podcasts, SoundCloud, YouTube. Check it out, guys. That's all I ask. That's all I need.
Only 17 seconds, man.
Thank you, Bradley. That's all I needed.
All right, thank you, man. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah.